American Lion, Andrew Jackson in the White House. John Meacham. Andrew Jackson was unlike any president before him. Born poor in the Carolinas, orphaned by war, he rose through grit and fire to become a symbol of the common man's defiance. By the time he entered the White House in 1829, Jackson had already been a soldier, a duelist, and a national hero from the Battle of New Orleans. But his presidency would test not only his own will, it would redefine the American presidency itself. In John Meacham's American Lion, the story unfolds in the turbulent years when the United States was still young and uncertain of its destiny. Jackson saw himself as the guardian of democracy, the people's champion against the entrenched elite. He transformed the presidency from a passive institution into one of direct power and moral leadership. To Jackson, the president was not a distant manager of Congress, but the embodiment of the nation's will. Yet his time in office was marked by deep conflict. The Eaton affair divided his cabinet and Washington society as rumors and moral judgments consumed the Capitol. Jackson's fierce loyalty to his friends and his equally fierce temper shaped the culture of his administration, but his real battles were with forces far larger than gossip. When South Carolina threatened to nullify federal law, Jackson stood unyielding. "The Union must and shall be preserved," he declared, willing to use force to keep the nation intact. At the same time, his fight against the Bank of the United States revealed both his populist passion and his personal stubbornness. Jackson believed the bank concentrated power in the hands of the wealthy few, a betrayal of the people he had sworn to defend. His veto of its recharter was a thunderclap, a declaration that the presidency could act with independent authority on behalf of ordinary citizens. But Jackson's legacy is also shadowed by tragedy. His policy of Indian removal, culminating in the Trail of Tears, remains one of the darkest chapters in American history. Believing he was opening the land for settlers and securing peace, he instead presided over immense suffering and death. It is a contradiction that defines his story, a man of democracy who denied liberty to others. Behind the politics was a deeply human figure, scarred by loss, fiercely devoted to his wife Rachel, whose death before his inauguration left him hollowed with grief. He carried that pain through his years in office, channeling it into a kind of righteous energy that could both inspire and destroy. When Jackson left the White House, he left behind a transformed nation. The presidency was now a force that spoke directly to the people. Power had shifted from the halls of Congress to the voice of one elected leader. American Lion portrays Jackson as both hero and warning, a man who expanded the promise of democracy while exposing its peril when bound to a single relentless will.